Welcome to Access Point. Access Point is a new on-demand business education tool being developed for use by small businesses across the District of Columbia. Access Point is brought to you by the DC Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD, the DC Department of Small and Local Business Development, DSLBD, District Bridges, and the Rhode Island Avenue Main Street.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Access Point. Today we continue our series of profiling small businesses here in the Washington, D.C. area that are doing some really creative things to keep their businesses afloat during this COVID business shutdown. Obviously, an unprecedented time in modern terms for impacts on businesses. And we have been spending the last few episodes really looking at how businesses are changing the way they are doing business to meet their customers' needs and maybe reach new customers that they didn't have before. And also those businesses that are doing really outstanding things as far as giving back to the community. So today I am so excited to welcome Carolyn and Massimo Pepete from Eddie Cano. Let's see if I can pronounce that right. Did I get that right, Carolyn and Massimo? Eddie Cano?
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, you have a great play on words and pronunciation between the way the name of the business is spelled and on the logo to how it's pronounced. I love that play on words. First off, how are you two doing?
We are doing very well. So the big challenge was at the beginning. Everything changed very fast, and we need to come with a system and everything new. For a restaurant like us, that we use service basically every day. We service on the table, and like a regular restaurant. So in 1-2 days, we had to remodel our system, our concept just to stay open. So it was very challenging at the beginning, and Caroline and myself worked very hard, especially Caroline, to try to find a better solution and a better system to help our customer and provide food and as fast as we can, and with the quality that we put on the plate before. So that was very, very challenging because we were not at a deli, we were not a takeout restaurant, and yes, but not a lot of takeout. We jumped to maybe 10-15 orders a night to 60, 70, 80. And Kyle, that was very challenging, try to reorganize everything from scratch, from the kitchen with the chef, all the way we can deliver food. So how we do that, plus there were not a lot of guideline, the way to do it. So we have to, find our own solution. So I'm Italian, so I was looking for what's happening in Italy and what they did in Italy, but it didn't help me a lot because everything was shut down in Italy, delivered as well, especially in the north, and so we didn't have any sources. And thanks God, Caroline came with an excellent idea and try to rearrange the menu and everything, and she can tell you what we did,
Carolyn, tell us about the transition.
Of course. I'll just add, of course, we have a business partner as well, James G., our chef, so we don't want to leave him out of that. And it's the three of us. Massimo runs the restaurant full-time. He's the general manager. James is our business partner, and he's our chef. So the two of them are really there every single day, fighting the good fight to just try to keep our business alive. I work behind the scenes and help with the marketing and the finances and pay the bills and all of that stuff. So we kind of pivoted, which is everybody's favorite word right now, but we did a pretty fast pivot from maybe, as Massimo said, doing 5 takeout orders on a normal day, 15 takeout orders on a busy day. And now we're upwards of possibly 80 takeout orders a day. We did a tremendous takeout business on Easter, which is really nice. And we're looking to do something similar for Mother's Day. What we did a little bit before this had all started, we did these family meals that serve 3 to 4 people, depending on how hungry your kids are. If you have teenage boys, maybe. Ours are not teenagers yet, boys, but not teenagers. So it feeds 3 to 4 people. And we did something similar for Easter. The meal fed 3 to 4 people, and you could get 2 of those if you wanted. We've added several things to the lineup. We are doing items that you can buy in the restaurant, such as jug wine that you can refill on tap. I won't give away the whole thing. We started robot delivery, which is really fun. We're limited with the technology of the company. Broad Branch Market in our neighborhood started it first. It's Starship robot delivery. They principally were delivering on college campuses, so their business model shut down as well, and they were looking for somewhere else to branch out. I'm not sure how they got to Broad Branch, but Broad Branch has been doing it for about a month in their neighborhood, delivering groceries mainly, but prepared food as well. So we had our first delivery last night, which was really fun, but the neighborhood needs to be mapped out a little bit further so we can expand more into the neighborhood. We're limited by their capabilities and their manpower at the moment.
What a fun concept. How did that come about? Obviously, I'm guessing from the need for contactless delivery. But how do people get their order out of the little robot?
I think Massimo can explain it a little bit better, but the reason it hit our radar is I have a good friend who's a producer, a TV producer here in the neighborhood. She works for a German TV station, and she mentioned that we should get in touch with Starship and try to do it ourselves. So we reached out and set up the whole contract to get it going. But Massimo did the first order last night. He could explain logistically what's entailed. If you want to go ahead with that, Massimo.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I saw this one already 1 year ago in Georgetown, and I was wondering what is it, and now I understood what it was meant. So basically, it's easy. You need to download your app on your iPhone or your smartphone, Starship Churches, and you can place an order automatically through your iPhone. You can pay with your iPhone, and basically we receive the order, and the order is processed like every single order. So when the order is ready, we call with our computer. We call the robot is coming, and they're pretty fast. I have to say that they're pretty fast, and then we deliver it as the other one. You close the robot, you put the food in, you close the robot, then you send, and then it start running. Yesterday, as Karen said, yesterday was the first order, so I want to see, right? So, and I saw this robot. It was going, and then he stopped at the traffic light on Nebraska Avenue. Then he wait for the for the red light, and then green, and then it goes. It was unbelievable. And it was a kid, 2 kids actually, in front of the restaurant. They were very, say, "What is that, mommy? What is that?" And so they jump in front of him, and the robot automatically stopped it, and it started moving again after I want to say 1 minute after the girls letting them through. And I was impressed. And it's very clean, especially on those days. People that don't want to have any kind of contact. The robot is coming in front of your house, and on your iPhone, you just click open. The door is going to open up. Take your food, you close the door, and it's gone. So it's pretty convenient and easy. That's the new word, I guess. I don't know.
Let me just add to that. The photo taken is a photo from Starship. You'll notice there's snow in the background. We've had none of that this year. The person does not have gloves on their hands. This is a college campus stock photo from them. The photo that I posted last night on our Instagram page was the robot filled. We use gloves, masks, etc. So once the robot comes back to us, then we wipe it back down. In theory, nobody actually has to touch the robot, but we wipe it back down. And when we fill it, we do have gloves and masks, etc. But those were not our hands. It's not our snow. And it's very clean. And I think it's really one of the safest ways to get food right now. And hopefully they expand their mapping, so to speak, so we can go to more and more places.
Well, that takes care of the delivery option. What did you have to do to readjust your menu for takeout, or did you? I mean, I know you mentioned doing some family style meals that people can order, particularly on Easter Sunday. Did you have to make decisions about what could stay on the menu? Because I would imagine not everything would transport and be of the quality that the chef would want to have go out the door in the restaurant. Is that a fair thing to say? Bottom line, did you have to adjust your menu?
We did have to dumb down the menus, so to speak, for a variety of reasons. Not everything is travel friendly, and our fried zucchini, which everybody loves, and it was one of the big photos in our Washington Post review when Tom Seitzma reviewed us. They are never travel friendly. They just turn to mush in about 30 seconds. So, items like that are not travel friendly, we did have to take off the menu. But in addition, it's just harder to get all the materials we were getting before. So the menu needed to be more streamlined for the availability of ingredients, but also for the comfort food that people are looking for right now. I will go out on a limb and say that there was a lot of social shaming going on with the restaurants when this first occurred, that a lot of restaurants closed for 2 weeks and said it's what needs to be done to be safe for everybody. And whereas I think there was a little bit of truth in that, we did exercise as much caution as possible with, hygiene and gloves and masks, etc. But we also don't have the deep pockets a lot of these larger restaurants do. We don't have, 15 investors. It's not a $15 billion a year operation with months and months of capital sitting in the bank. And at the same time, our price points were takeout friendly as is, and as is most of our food. A lot of the restaurants that did close for 2 weeks don't have the price points that we have. We are family friendly, kind of everyday food for the most part. So we kept those items, added more comfort food. We're very heavy on the Italian-American concept of our menu. Our normal menu is dual concept, Italian food that Massimo grew up with in Italy, and Italian-American food that James grew up with more in the United States. James is Italian-American. So we really have just focused on a lot of these Italian-American classics and food that people are comfortable eating right now, want to eat to feel good and better about things. And then also it's just a little travel friendlier. So, yes.
And my mouth is watering. Thank you so much for that. You've also recently started a new program, and let me see if I can get this out in the correct pronunciation. La Spesa Sospesa. Is that remotely familiar to what you're?
Yes, absolutely. Very good.
Okay.
Why don't you pronounce it properly?
La Spesa Sospesa.
Okay. And tell me about the program.
Yes, basically this is a very, very common on the south of Italy, especially in Naples, in Campania, all around there. And it's very, very interesting. The most common things the people in Naples do is at the bar, okay? So, for example, you're going to our bar, you order a cafe, that's for us is espresso. Basically, you always pay for two. You are by yourself, but you pay for two. Because one is for you to enjoy it, and the other one is for somebody who's coming with no money just to have a cafe as well. And this is very, as I say, it's very, very popular in Naples. So, and it's the same thing with spesa su spesa. So basically, you buy something for somebody that is gonna come later on, help him out, someone that he doesn't have money to buy food, and so at least he can eat something. So that's very interesting. And a friend of mine working with me, Giovanni, is from Naples, and we were talking about this in the last 2-3 weeks. And then Caroline, she come up with this idea, and just to try to just put away on our concept. And let's see, Karen, you want to add something?
Yeah, we just put it on our website tonight, and I put it in a couple of our local listservs. So the idea is that when people check out online, if they'd like to add $5, $10, or $15, they can. It would go to the Spesa su Spesa campaign, which is the best translation in English, in my opinion, is pay it forward. NPR ran an article 3 days on this, and they just literally translated it to suspended shopping, which is correct. But for what would actually resonate with people, it's the idea of a pay it forward. So we will do the match at the restaurant. So if somebody puts $15, we'll do $15 and provide meals locally to families and couples in need. I'm working right now with both Murch Elementary, which is the school our kids go to, as well as elementary school, yes, Deal Middle School and Wilson High School. These are all within less than a mile of our school, of our restaurant. It's the school district that feeds into our restaurant. And then I'm also working with the Cleveland Park. I just reached out to them today. Let me see what the name is. Again, I keep forgetting. It's called the Cleveland Park Citizens Association. And they're within about 1.5 miles of the restaurant, and that's low-income housing. So to see who we can provide meals to. So we just started it today, and we'll see what happens. But it's, we're struggling right now as a restaurant, but it's makes you feel a little bit better when you stop thinking about your own woes and start thinking about somebody else's, to see what we can do to help.
So this is one of the many great aspects of supporting a locally owned business, that the locally owned business is involved in the community. You're members of the community, and you give back to the community when you need to. And I think I can speak for everybody when I say thank you for doing that. I think it's a great program to offer. What's next for Eddie Cano as things are, they're not getting back to normal yet, but looking forward, what lessons do you think you've learned as business owners that will benefit you as you're going forward? Is there anything that you, from a process standpoint, maybe weren't doing before, but now you are, and would be something that you would keep doing?
So we really weren't doing a tremendous amount of takeout before. Our business opened in October of 2018, and we pride ourselves on being a neighborhood restaurant here for the community. We have this thing we call the simple truth, and our simple truth is to create a sense of community. It's something that we try to do in every gesture and every interaction with our client base here, and we try to work with the school and a lot of other things. So being a restaurant that was about 1.5 years old, we weren't doing a lot of takeout, but we have been doing a decent business volume, and it's always really fun that people comment that we're always busy. They drive by and they can look in the windows and see that we're always busy. So that's really, really rewarding to us. But the takeout has really taken off. It's our only revenue stream right now. And hopefully that continues when we open back up, because we don't know in what capacity we'll be permitted to open back up. You hear them talking about restaurant margins all the time. It's all true. Restaurant margins are so slim. So to have to cut back our coverage 50% or more, we will never make it as a business. However, if we can complement the takeout with the, dine in at whatever capacity we're permitted, and that people feel comfortable coming out in public and dining out, if we can combine those two things, I think it would be fantastic. The other thing that's just really been a lot of fun that we've been doing as much as we can with right now is selling alcohol to the public through the restaurant. the DC laws are temporarily permitting restaurants to do alcohol with to-go. It has to be with food. It can't just be alcohol. So we started, there's the beer on tap, so Birra alla Spina, which you see there. That's a 64-ounce growler. It looks a little smaller than it is. It's 64 ounces. So we have 2 beer on tap, 1 Italian, 1 DC. We also have wine on tap, Vino Rosso, Vino Bianco. It's a red and a white that change, when the kegs empty out. And we also have 2 cocktails on tap. We have a Negroni and we have a Vesper. Vesper is the James Bond famous cocktail, which is gin and vodka and a little bit of Lillet. So the jugs are really cool. You see that in the picture there. They sold out immediately. So we do have a deposit on the bottles, and if people bring the bottle back to refill, then they don't pay the deposit again, or they can cash out the deposit on the bottle. But since we can't get the bottles right now, we're hoping to have another shipment next week. We are letting people fill their own bottles of the wine and pay no deposit fee for the regular wine price. So that's pretty fun. We added loaves of bread, and olive oil starts tomorrow as well. I noticed in the supermarket, it's really hard to get olive oil, and we can get it at a pretty competitive price. So we're doing loaves of bread from our fresh bakery that only supplies restaurants. It's called Panorama Bakery. They're not open to the public. Doing the olive oil. And then Giovanni, who is our head waiter, who Massimo spoke about earlier and had really been talking a lot about the Spesa su Spesa. He is from the Campania region of Italy, which is where Naples is. He's actually from Pompeii, and he makes delicious house-made limoncello, which should be ready by tomorrow. He also makes this thing called choconcello, which we've already been selling. It's kind of like chocolate mix limoncello, and then a crema di limoncello, so it's a cream-based limoncello. So we're going to start selling those other ones tonight and tomorrow, and the choconcello has already been on sale. We've been selling it. So it's fun to be able to do these things and connect with people in a different way.
It seems like that is just a phenomenal way to reach a whole new customer base. You just reached me. I'm a new customer. I will be submitting an order soon. It all sounds phenomenal. I cannot thank you both enough for all the work you're doing and for joining us today. Eddie Cano is located at 5014 Connecticut Avenue Northwest. Can you spell out the website for folks?
It's so it's www.imeddicano.com. No apostrophe in there.
Love that. Absolutely love that. You're all over social media too. Great write-up in a food review from before the shutdown. Congratulations for making some nice shifts, and can't wait to try your food. Thank you both for joining us. Carolyn and Massimo Papetti from Eddie Cano. Thank you both.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That's it for this episode, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.